So hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, I'm somewhere a little different and I'm here in Calinan, Davao City, and I'm about to show you something that I honestly think more Davaoenos should know about. This is IMIN Philippine-Japan Historical Museum, and fun fact, Davao was once called Little Tokyo. I did not know that before, so today we're going to explore this place together and learn how that even happened. So we are now on our way to the Philippine-Japan International School in Durian Village, Calinan, Davao City. That is where the IMIN Philippine-Japan Historical Museum is located, and it's about 40 minutes away from downtown Davao City. Now the area is peaceful and quiet, and if you did not know the history, you would never guess that this place holds over a century of shared stories between Filipinos and Japanese. So let's head inside. Okay, so we are now inside, and the first thing I notice is how organized everything is. There are old photographs, documents, and even tools used in abaca farming. And also a fun detail, you actually have the option to rent their kimono for 100 pesos. And we decided to avail it for the full experience, and it definitely adds to the vibe while exploring the museum, and it's perfect for photo ops as well. So if you're planning to visit, you might want to try that too. And this is where the story begins. So back in 1903, Japanese workers started arriving in Davao. So they were brought here to work in abaca plantations. So abaca was a big deal back then because it was used to make ropes for ships. So it was high demand worldwide. And the first group was led by Suda Ryosuke. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but he is from Kagoshima, Japan. Imagine leaving your home country and traveling all the way to Mindanao in the early 1900s. That must have been such a huge risk. And as I'm reading the display here, I cannot help but compare their story to Filipino OFWs today. So we leave the Philippines to find better opportunities abroad, but back then, it was Japanese workers who left their country and came here to build a better future. So they became farmers, they built plantations, they married Filipinas, and they had children here. So Davao slowly became their home. Now here's the part that really surprised me. At one point, there were about 20,000 Japanese residents in Davao, and that made it the largest Japanese migrant community in Southeast Asia during that time. So there were Japanese schools, restaurants, stores, hospitals, and even photo studios. So areas like Mintal and Calinan, they became heavily populated by Japanese settlers. That is why Davao earned the nickname Little Tokyo, and I honestly had no idea. And look at this. This is a model of something called the Hagutan. So it is a machine used to strip abaca fibers. Before this machine, stripping abaca was done by hand. It was slow and exhausting, but when the Japanese introduced the Hagutan, production increased a lot, and that meant more exports, more money, and more growth for Davao. So it's amazing how one innovation can change the economy of a whole region. Now, because of this boom, the Japanese community here became wealthy and influential. In fact, Davao City was officially established in 1937, partly to regulate the growing Japanese presence. That tells you how significant their influence was. Now we move to the heavier part of the museum, World War II. When Japan lost the war, everything changed for the Japanese families living here. So many of them were sent back to Japan, but their Filipino spouses and children were not allowed to go with them, and families were separated. And after the war, there was a strong anti-Japanese sentiment. Some people with Japanese ancestry had to hide their identity, and some even fled to the mountains to avoid discrimination. And standing here and reading these stories, you really feel how painful that time must have been. This museum does not just show success, it shows a struggle too. But history did not end there. In 1962, Crown Prince Akihito and Crown Princess Michiko visited the Philippines, and that visit symbolized the rebuilding of friendship between two countries. And later on, in 1968, about 80 former Japanese immigrants returned to Davao for a sentimental visit. Now, can you imagine coming back to the place you once called home after so many years? Today, there are still thousands of Nikkei or Japanese descendants living in Davao City, and their heritage is preserved right here. So what I like about this museum is that it makes Davao feel bigger somehow. We usually think of our city as just another place in Mindanao, but learning about this history makes you realize that Davao has always been connected to global movements, migration, war, and reconciliation. So it's not just local history, it's a shared history, and I feel like more people should know about this.
Hello, I am Mrs. Carmen Apigo, the in charge of the museum, and at the same time the school president of the Philippine-Japan School of Calinan. I am inviting you all to visit our museum and see our display, and at the same time do some research. This is very helpful to our young students. You can also have some picture taking during your visit here at the museum in parts wherein it is permitted. Thank you and see you soon.
So if you're planning to visit, here are the details. The IMIN Philippine-Japan Historical Museum is open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Entrance fee is 100 pesos for adults and 80 pesos for seniors and PWDs, and 50 pesos for students. For everything you learn inside, that's very affordable. So that's our tour for today. If you have never been to IMIN Philippine-Japan Historical Museum, maybe this is your time to visit. Sometimes the most interesting stories are not far away. They're just in places we've never taken the time to explore. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you want more local history content around Davao. Thanks for coming with us today. See you on the next one.